Comfort food. Meaning, food that makes you feel better because it reminds you of your childhood. Example, after a tiring day, it's so nice to make some comfort food and settle down with a good book. Costs an arm and a leg. Meaning, when something is very expensive. Example, my son wants that mountain bike for his birthday, but it'll cost an arm and a leg. Couldn't care less. Meaning, used to express total lack of interest in something. Example, that man stole a bottle of wine from the shop. Oh, really? I couldn't care less. Crunch time. Meaning, the period of time just before a project has to be completed and everyone has to work hard. Example, I'm not getting enough sleep these days. It's crunch time at work. Cut somebody some slack. Meaning, to give somebody a break or not to judge somebody severely. Example, I was extremely busy last week. Cut me some slack and I'll finish the report by tomorrow morning. Dig in one's heels. Meaning, to refuse to compromise or change your mind. Example, my parents wanted me to give up writing, but I dug my heels and went on to become a famous writer. Don't judge a book by its cover. Meaning, this means don't make a decision based on a brief impression or outward appearance. Example, I don't like our new neighbors very much, they're quite strange. Hey, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Give them a chance, I think they're just a bit quirky but really nice. Feeling under the weather. Meaning, to be ill or unable to do regular activities. Example, I think I'm going to have to take the day off work. I feel quite under the weather today. Freak out. Meaning, to become very angry, scared or excited. Example, Mom, don't freak out. I married a guy in Las Vegas. Get it out of your system. Meaning, to do something you've wanted to do for a long time and don't want to postpone any longer. Example, I wasn't sure how she was going to react, but I had to get it out of my system, so I told her I had found another woman. Get out of hand. Meaning, when you lose control of things, they get out of hand. Example, the party got out of hand and the guests started to throw bottles at each other. Get your head around it. Meaning, to understand something. Example, I just can't get my head around the fact that Joe is leaving us. Go down in flames. Meaning, to end or fail suddenly and spectacularly. Example, she'd wanted to become managing director, but her career went down in flames when they found out she'd been leaking information to our competitors. Go the extra mile. Meaning, to make a special effort or try very hard to achieve your goal. Example, if you want to become proficient in English, you'll have to go the extra mile and start learning idioms. Hang in there. Meaning, wait and be patient. Example, I know you'd really like to call him, but I don't think that's the right thing to do now. Just hang in there and he will call you. Hear on the grapevine. Meaning, to hear a rumor or unconfirmed story. Example, I heard on the grapevine that Charlie and Sarah are dating at the moment. Hit the books. Meaning, to study very hard. Example, do you want to go for lunch somewhere nice? No thanks, I'm going to hit the books. I have an exam coming up soon. Hit the nail on the head. Meaning, used if something someone says is precisely correct. Example, my doctor hit the nail on the head. He knew exactly what was wrong with me. Leave no stone unturned. Meaning, to do everything you can to achieve your goal. Example, I'll leave no stone unturned until I find out who did this. Let the chips fall where they may. Meaning, to let something happen, no matter what happens next. Example, I must tell John how I feel about him, let the chips fall where they may. Let your freak flag fly. Meaning, to let others see your uniqueness. Example, my colleagues were surprised at the Christmas party, I let my freak flag fly and showed them a break dance routine. Miss the boat. Meaning, when someone has missed their opportunity to do something. Example, have you applied for that job yet? No, I think I may have missed the boat. I shoulder done it last week. No trainer. Meaning, an easy decision. Example, do you think I should propose to Judy? Come on, it's a no-brainer. She's such a fantastic woman. Once in a blue moon. Meaning, when something rarely ever happens. Example, we used to see him all the time, but now he just visits us once in a blue moon. Piece of cake. Meaning, when something is extremely easy to do. Example, do you think you could beat him in a race? Yeah, piece of cake. I'm definitely a lot faster than him. Pound the pavement. Meaning, to walk the streets looking for a job. Example, I'd been pounding the pavement for months before I found a job in a fast food restaurant. Pull a rabbit out of a hat. Meaning, to do something unexpected that may have seemed impossible. Example, I thought we were going bankrupt, but my partner pulled a rabbit out of his hat and we landed a major contract. Pull yourself together. Meaning, to calm down and behave normally. Example, I understand you've had a bad day, but pull yourself together and get on with your job, will you? Running on fumes. Meaning, to continue to stay awake when feeling exhausted. Example, I'm sorry, but I've got to go home now. I haven't slept for 20 hours and I'm running on fumes. Shape up or ship out. Meaning, either start performing better or leave. Example, this is the last time I'm telling you to arrive on time. Shape up or ship out. Shoot from the hip. Meaning, to speak directly. Example, if you want to get on well with your boss, try not to shoot from the hip next time. You don't want to offend him, do you? Sit on the fence. Meaning, to stay neutral and not take sides. Example, well, don't you think I'm right? He's been acting differently, hasn't he? I'm sitting on the fence with this one, you're both my good friends. Skeleton crew. Meaning, the minimum number of people needed to keep a service or office operating. Example, can you come back after the holidays? We're operating with a skeleton crew at the moment. Sold me out. Meaning, to snitch on someone, or let their secret out. Example, I asked you to keep it to yourself. I can't believe you sold me out, I trusted you. Step up your game. Meaning, to start performing better. Example, if you want to win this competition, you'll have to step up your game. Stick to your guns. Meaning, to refuse to compromise or change your mind. Example, my parents wanted me to give up writing, but stuck to my guns and went on to become a famous writer. Take what someone says with a pinch of salt. Meaning, regard something as exaggerated, or only believe a part of something. Example, did you hear what Tina said happened in the office yesterday? Oh, I would take anything she says with a pinch of salt. Tar, someone, with the same brush. Meaning, to believe that someone has the same bad qualities as others in a group. Example, I don't think much of that band, but the singer shouldn't be tarred with the same brush. She's got a fantastic voice. You rock. Meaning, you are great. Example, thanks for the tickets, Rob. You rock. You sold me on something. Meaning, you convinced me of something, because you were persuasive. Example, okay, you've sold me. I'll go to the match with you. Egghead. Meaning, a very studious person, intellectually gifted in the field of academics, a very intelligent person. Example, I think Jane will do well in her finals. She has always been a kind of egghead from elementary school all the way through college. Big cheese. Meaning, an important and influential person. Example, do you know Peter? He's a big cheese at the company, he may help you to get a good job there. Couch potato. Meaning, a very lazy person who watches too much TV. Example, my uncle is a couch potato, you never see him without the remote control in his hand. Tough cookie. Meaning, a very determined person, durable and robust person, a person who is difficult to deal with. Example, there is a tough cookie on the phone, he insists to talk to the manager, shall I put him through? Top banana. Meaning, leader, boss, the chief person in a group, the head of a project. Example, I don't know when we'll finish, ask Jack, he's the top banana here. Bad apple. Meaning, troublemaker, criminal. Example, he's a real bad apple. If I were you, I wouldn't let my daughter go out with him. Sour grapes. Meaning, pretending to dislike something thought you can't have. Example, the losers say they don't mind that they couldn't win the cup, but I'm sure this is only sour grapes. Lemon law. Meaning, an American law that protects those who buy defective cars or other consumer goods. Example, unfortunately, his new car had an engine defect, but he received a complete refund in accordance with the lemon law. A bun in the oven. Meaning, this expression is used when somebody is pregnant. Example, I have a bun in the oven, the baby is due in 7 months. Bring home the bacon. Meaning, this idiom describes a person who earns a living or provides financial support to the home. Example, I work hard so I can support my family, I bring home the bacon. Cheesy. Meaning, describes something that is tacky, silly, inauthentic, or cheap. Example, the novel received terrible reviews and wasn't even said to be cheesy as many critics thought it was too predictable. Full of beans. Meaning, this describes somebody that is excited about something or very energetic and lively. Example, the kids were full of beans after the birthday party. A piece of cake. Meaning, This describes something that is really easy to do or takes very little effort. Example, the exam was a piece of cake. I knew all the answers. I was finished within half an hour. Spill the beans. Meaning, this idiom is used when somebody tells a secret that they shouldn't have. Example, spill the beans. How did you know the answer to the mathematics question? A pinch of salt. Meaning, this idiom is used when somebody is skeptical about something or someone. Example, detectives have to be skeptical and suspicious when interviewing suspects. They have to take everything being said with a pinch of salt. Butter up. Meaning, this idiom is used when somebody hatters somebody else, usually because they want something from them. Example, the students wanted to go outside and play in the yard, so they tried to butter up their teacher by saying what a great teacher she is and how much they appreciate her. A piece of the pie. Meaning, a share of something like money or profits. Example, if you invest in my company, you will get a big piece of the pie. Smackers. Meaning, noun, always plural, money, especially American dollars. Also can use clams, bucks, bones. Example, what would you do if you had 20 million smackers? Paper. Meaning, noun, always singular, money. Also can use cream, grip, dough, bread, bank, bacon, cheddar, cheese, gravy. Example, you need a lot of paper to buy a new car. Make paper. Meaning, to make a lot of money. The same definition with other idiom make bank. Example, look at me now. I'm making paper. Make bank. Meaning, to make a lot of money. The same definition with other idiom make paper. Example, they girls didn't like me in middle school, but now they can't get enough of me because I'm making bank. Make coin. Meaning, to make money, but not necessarily a lot of money. Example, I make some good coin at the restaurant. I'm not wealthy, but it's enough. Gravy train. Meaning, a situation where a person makes a lot of money. Example, I have been selling towels to tourists, and it is a huge gravy train. Bring home the bacon. Meaning, to make money for your family to live on, to be very successful. Example, because John's been in the hospital for 2 months, his wife has been bringing home the bacon. Benjamins. Meaning, $100 USD bill. Example, it's all about the Benjamins, baby. Raining cats and dogs. Meaning, pouring, raining very heavily. Example, where are you going? Can't you see it's raining cats and dogs? You two get soaked in a minute if you go out now. Face like thunder. Meaning, being clearly very angry or upset. Example, I don't know what was happening, I just saw that a man with a face like thunder was chasing a little boy out of the grocer's shop. Storm in a teacup. Meaning, exaggerating a problem, anger, or worry about something unimportant. Example, their debate was only a storm in a teacup, actually neither of them took the problem too serious. Chase rainbows. Meaning, waste time trying to achieve something impossible. Example, my wife never believed I would make it as an executive manager, she always thought I was just chasing rainbows. Lightning fast. Meaning, extremely fast. Example, I don't think we can keep up with him, he's got a lightning fast bike. Head in the clouds. Meaning, having unrealistic or impractical ideas, daydreaming. Example, LS your sister in love? I see her walking around all day with her head in the clouds. Snowed under. Meaning, having too much to do. Example, I'd love to help you, but I'm completely snowed under at the moment. Under the weather. Meaning, ill, sick, feeling unwell, sad, or lacking energy. Example, do you mind if I stay out of work today? I'm feeling under the weather, I may have the flu. Put a sock in it. Meaning, impolitely telling someone to stop talking or making a noise. Example, couldn't you put a sock in it? I'd love to do some work, but I can't in this noise. Cork it. Meaning, telling someone to be quiet. Example, it's too late and we're fed up with your stories. Cork it and go to sleep. Button it. Meaning, telling someone rudely to be quiet. Example, button it, can't you? I'm trying to concentrate. Shut your pie hole. Meaning, a rude way to tell someone to be quiet. Pie hole is the same as mouth slang. Example, shut your pie hole or I'll shut it for you. Zip your lips. Meaning, an informal way to tell someone to be quiet. The same with zip it up. Example, zip your lips, boys, and listen to me. Zip it up. Meaning, an informal way to tell someone to be quiet. The same with zip your lips. Example, we told her to be quiet, but she just couldn't zip it up. Wind your neck in. Meaning, a rude way to tell someone to be quiet and or calm down. Example, cool down, buddy, wind your neck in, you've made enough troubles already. Simmer down. Meaning, calm down after anger or excitement, an informal way to tell someone to cool down. Example, please don't shout, simmer down, there's no point in rejoicing yet. Pipe down. Meaning, an informal way to tell someone to stop talking and or to make less noise. Example, the teacher shouted at the kids to pipe down but all in vain, none of them stopped talking. Having a whale of a time. Meaning, have a very good time, have an exciting or fun time. Example, how was your birthday party? Oh great, there were a lot of friends, we were playing games and dancing, we really had a whale of a time. On cloud nine. Meaning, very happy, cheerful. Example, I was very afraid of the history exam, and when I managed to pass it, I was on cloud nine. I invited all my friends to a drink in the local pub. Be tickled pink. Meaning, very much pleased or entertained. Example, I suggest picking some flowers for your girlfriend, I'm sure she'll be tickled pink and she won't refuse your proposal. On top of the world. Meaning, feeling wonderful, glorious, ecstatic. Example, since he was promoted to the position he had desired for ages, he feels glorious, he's sitting on top of the world. Happy as a clam. Meaning, very happy and comfortable. Example, when her parents left for holiday, she was happy as a clam staying alone in the house. Buzzing. Meaning, excited for something that's going to happen. Example, I'm buzzing for the holidays. Imagine, we're going on a diving trip in Greece. Over the moon. Meaning, extremely pleased and happy. Example, do you remember how happy we were when we first stayed out for a night? We were over the moon. In seventh heaven. Meaning, in a very happy state. Example, real happiness is when you work for it. I'm sure you'll be in seventh heaven when you get your first salary and buy a scooter.